Hello, my friends. Welcome to Spiritual Conversation, honest and joyful explorations of ideas to help us align with our true spiritual purpose and live beautiful and courageous lives. I'm your host, Jacqueline Claire, mermaid of the airwaves, here to take your hand and go on some deep dives together. And today is going to be a controversial dive. For some of you, it might sound like I'm talking mumbo jumbo or weirdness. Other people have actually requested this topic. I just had a really riveting conversation with a friend. If you watch this, you know who you are. Thank you for inspiring it. So I want to talk about men, women, masculinity, femininity, so-called gender roles. I say that in quotes because I don't know if I believe in gender, but I do believe in biological sex and that whole big mess of stuff. And okay, so we have these countervailing forces in the world. It's kind of a law of nature. It's definitely it appears to be a law of social reality where society moves really far in one direction and it's usually never correct to be very far on one extreme. So given that there is a truth in the opposition to said extreme, then there rises belligerent, countervailing, opposite, also extreme forces. And we are, depending on where you stand in this, either one of these sides might be news to you. But I believe that the beauty and the harmony of men and women as individuals and as complementary energies and forces, this whole God-given system is under attack, and we're all very confused about it. And on the one hand, we have a lot of talk about toxic masculinity. We have the American Medical Association, Psychological Association, Psychiatric Association. Look it up. Trust me, I found it. It's there. Naming traditional masculinity as a mental disorder, and just all kinds of these attacks on men, taking away, they don't have paternity rights, and a lot of questionable practices when there's custody issues and stuff like that. So things where men are accused of mental disorders for their hormonal compositions, and also limited in a lot of ways, believe it or not, right? And anyone who's into men's issues can tell you all about that. And then you have countervailing forces that are misogynistic, or at least verge on it, where it's extremes of the manosphere type thing, where maybe even polygamy is touted, where it's these ideas of women's place, right, being perhaps only in the home, cooking and cleaning, maybe raising kids, and the man is a dominating force. He should be able to have all the women he wants. He makes all the decisions. He's got to own his power and keep the women in place, which is a reaction. It's a reaction not only against this anti-masculinity sentiment in the world, which I believe is actually the dominant one right now, but it is also a reaction against perhaps fatherlessness, a reaction against women, against the sometimes misplaced dominance of women. Mother, if there's not a father, then mother is seen as this dominant force, and also the things that men experience in the dating world. And it makes me think of the Rolling Stones song, Under My Thumb. It's the guy, Mick Jagger, prancing around, talking about having this girl under his thumb, and that kind of represents that mindset. And when I was very, very young, my mom, who's a big fan of the Stones, told me that the song was a joke, that it was ironic. I don't know if it is or not, but I think that her point is sound in that she told me, well, men are actually afraid of women. So this whole song is a joke because he's reacting against this innate fear of women, of mother, of nature as a force, and this song is reactionary, as perhaps some aspects of the extreme pro-man movement might be reactionary, are reactionary. The extremes are always reactionary. And I think that there's a whole lot to explore on this topic. What I wanted to hone in on here today was just starting this conversation, presenting these viewpoints, and also speaking on an aspect of the role of women. So in this very extreme view of the rightful dominance and predominance of men, there is one prerogative assigned to women beyond cooking and cleaning and raising babies. And that prerogative is, singly and alone, choosing the right man. That's their prerogative. And once they have done that, they have married or find themselves in the container of some sort of commitment, then that's the end of their prerogatives. And I would hope that you can see that that is not true. I definitely don't believe in that. I believe women have many prerogatives and many things to offer this life. However, the prerogative to respect and honor as a woman her sexuality, and to very carefully select the right man with whom she would be open to actually procreating and raising a human life, and to grant that, sexual access to the right man once a commitment is made. If more women in, let's say, more advanced, progressive, modern society were honoring this prerogative that they have, then women would not be in the street marching for their right to abortion. And again, probably a lot of my audience is not actually out there protesting for the right for abortion, but you will see it as a social trend. And last couple of years have been particularly flagrant in that. And it always strikes me as very strange. My faith, the Baha'i faith, says that women have the greater moral courage. And then this example is given of a woman being like a lioness protecting her cubs, that when necessary to protect her children, women can become incredibly fierce and effective. And given the state of the trans push on children, have you seen the new things Target is selling? And given the reality of human trafficking and all kinds of horrible things that happen to children, where are the women fighting for this? I'm sure they're mama bears on school boards and that sort of stuff, but what you see, what the movements, the marches that seem to be happening most often are women fighting passionately. I mean, like ecstatic, with ecstasy, with not happy, but like, you know, like they're possessed. Women fighting for this so-called right. And it's tied up with all these other things. I believe women are amazing, sentient, powerful beings, and the world needs them, and they have all these kinds of rights. But the right to kill babies shouldn't be the thing that we're marching in the streets for. Like, that is the antithesis of the lioness protecting her cubs. So I just wanted to leave it at that. Isn't it interesting? And women honor that amazing prerogative. We are the gatekeepers for humanity. We affect the next generation to come. And that right to choose is a powerful one. And you have many other rights to choose, of course, but that one affects a lot of people, like infinitely. And we started this conversation about men's issues and women's issues and the attack on sex roles and family roles. So let there be discussion. Sometimes I get direct messages from people, sometimes you leave comments, but I would love to know your thoughts on these issues that I've touched on, and if there's more you would like to say or hear or whatever. All right, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for taking this deep dive with me, my friends. Check out the links below if you would like to support this channel or be in the loop for when I have my Zoom follow-ups if you want to talk about these things. Until next time, my friends, I wish you the best for playing your unique part in making this world a better place. I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.